Today we are going to be talking about how the black woman can be used to weaponize against us for the white supremacists' own good. Some of them are used as slave catchers to have any association with white supremacy. And they try to find ways to justify it, mistreat their own children, their sons especially, because they hate the fact that their son looks like the man they slept with and created with to produce them. There's lots of evidence of black women abusing their sons, harming them, saying that they're no good Negroes, you're just like your daddy. But the pain and trauma that she's going through is a reflection of her own flaws and reckless decision making. So therefore, you can't blame your son for what he looks like and who he is, because your children are the seed of the father. If you hate your son, you hate the father that he looks like. So it's like a power boost to them. But this little boy I can take advantage of and make him feel like he's nobody. He's not even a man, but he's a boy. But his father, I'm very careful how I treat him. Then they get upset when their son marries a non-black woman and they try to tell him, you're a race traitor, you hate us, you this and that, but your son recognized that you never loved him. If the woman that birthed me on this earth was a black woman, and she don't love me because of what my father looks like, what's the whole use of me marrying a black woman? Because in my mind, in that time period, all black women don't love me. Here's the other thing. If my mother don't like me, my mother's my first person that is a representative of all women, basically. So if my mom don't like me, that means black women in general don't like me. Terrible way to say it, but some young black men go through that, and they go through life thinking that, and it damages them when it comes to building a strong black family. So some black women have to take account of what they did wrong, the damage how they put on their sons, the trauma, and they gotta have a humble apology and talk about this. Because if you stop doing this, or this keeps this up, it can become a bigger issue, and it's starting to manifest into a bigger issue. So holding unforgiveness in your heart against your sons is not a way to do it. If you want to create a strong black family, you got to make sure that you are married with your husband and not have wedlock, so your sons and daughters see a clear example of what marriage looks like. If I grow up in a single parent household and I see the mother basically raising me, I think that's normal, and I repeat that behavior because of what I've seen from my parents. In essence, my parents are the examples of how things operate in this world. My parents are the first teachers that I see before I walk to school each morning. So if I see you act like that, I'm going to copy that and think that's normal. I'm going to learn the hard way that it's not. It's going to damage my status and my reputation of how people perceive me. You got mothers out there that think their beauty and their standards are more important than their own sons and daughters. They get welfare checks, spend it and splurge it on themselves, but not make sure that their kids are taken care of. You got mothers that live in abandoned cars, not knocking them, whatever, and their kids are in there suffering in the cold weather in the south and the north in a lot of ways. The most important thing in life is to make sure that you are structured and you are financially stable before you even have children. Children didn't ask to be in this world. You put them here through circumstances. I know in life that we go through ups and downs, but let's stop making excuses, start analyzing like adults, and figure out how we're going to make their lives better. Especially this next generation has no clue about family. The American nuclear family has been destroyed by this nonsense over the years and decades. And you starting to see it manifest every single day, little by little. You have children cursing their grandmothers out. And they know cotton picking well back in the 70s and 80s, they got their butts whipped and popped for that. But unfortunately, that's child abuse today. Discipline is necessary for your kids to understand that they have to respect authority. If they don't respect authority, unfortunately in this world, they'll learn the hard way. This world don't care about nobody. You learn a tough lesson about that real quick. But when a policeman walks into your door, sees your child, locks him up, he goes into prison, he might come out being confused, wondering who he is as a man or a young man. His thoughts about you is not even positive. You might call the police on your son, but you failed to do what you got to do in life. But you fail to understand that the system of white supremacy does not care nothing about your son. It's all programmed in a way, but the father is the government of the household. Your food stamp services, all of these benefits that you receive from the government are from your husband, the government. The husband is your government, and the government is not a good husband. It will make sure that you stay dependent on it. And once it's done using you, well, it goes on to its next victim and try to demise them and make sure that they don't prosper in life. So when you repeat this vicious cycle of living like this unstably, you ain't passing down no knowledge, no gems, no generational wealth or anything to your children. So they suffer after you dead and gone, and they trying to figure out the notions of life the harsh way. But yet you boast about being the black women. We the first to raise our children. Yes, I applaud you for that, but a lot of y'all ain't doing a good job. A lot of y'all ain't there watching over them. They depend on gangs and thugs to teach them how to be adults, and that's not always right to begin with. If they have, some of them have good intentions of teaching your children, still, that's bad influence. And that should not be glorified in our community. But we're quick to give a criminal a pat on the back, but not a black man or woman with a college degree a pat on the back for working hard to get that degree. Another step, glorifying single mother. Having 6 kids with no father, that should not be celebrated at all in our community. That should be looked down upon because it's not normal, it's not healthy. But you say, oh, this man has no children, he's single, truck driver, so forth, good career, but he has no experience with children. Okay, that's his choice. So that man might be a good man for you, but understand this, you ain't his first option. There's other women in this earth that he can marry that have no children besides you. Look yourself in the mirror and make that change in your life. Pray to God, pray that you will understand that the seriousness of this conversation that we're having. Because we're not getting better as a people. We keep on lagging behind. We're not building strong families or anything. We are being destroyed inwardly and outwardly. Reputation of black women is diminishing. The good ones that try to do the right thing are getting questioned by other nations of men and our black men, and they're getting criticized of what the bad black women are doing in this earth. On Instagram and other social media groups, twerking, acting ratchet, being the hood ghetto chicks that they try to be, their personality, it's not professional. It's a bad look on black women entirely. I hate the fact that a small demographic of black women in our community act like this, and they get shocked and surprised seeing little black girls act like this. They think this is normal and cute, and it's actually not. It's disgusting in the deepest sense of depravity. My message is to you is this is not bashing. This is my observation of the black community. I pray that we do get better, and I pray that things are going to be okay with us. But looking at the situation that we live in right now is sad. It sickens me. I know that we can do a lot more better as a community, and we shall prosper in goodness and righteousness, not wickedness. So have a good day, and I'll see you.